Also, the opening 20 minutes shows probably the most, to this day, most realistic version of a society under complete collapse. That television says, somebody get that fucking asshole off the air.
Yeah.
They are dead, they will rise and they will kill, and the people they kill will kill. I mean, the greatest exposition actor of all time. Because he's also in The Crazies, and he gives the greatest exposition in that, too. He was definitely one of Romero's real finds, that guy. So you just buy the complete breakdown of the society and what do we do and where do we go and what's going on, and not in this big giant scale World War Z kind of way, which I actually kind of like that movie, but in this real low budget margins of just like the media that's being projected on TV that you're seeing. And since it's all done in this public accessy kind of way, Romero kind of really nails it. People just transcendentally doing their job before their jobs become irrelevant and now they must survive. You see Romero and all those people at the control panel. Well, yes, exactly. But what were they doing the next day? Were they hiding from the hills? Or was the place just overrun by zombies? What happened to them? To me, the head explosion didn't really do it for me, because I actually think the coffee head explosion is even a little bit better, frankly, because you see the head in relation to her sawed-off shotgun and Pam Grier. The scene that makes you wonder, oh wow, can I even handle this, is when the zombie in the project, when his wife, who's still alive, comes to her and embraces him, my baby, and then he just bites just a chunk out of her shoulder, and it just looks real. You buy it. It looks, if humans had shark-like mouths, that's probably the effect of what would happen if a sharky human bit you. And it just, in effect, we had never seen before, and it draws a line in the sand. Oh, am I ready for the rest of this? But then you also had the weird thing of they've kind of controlled their world. They controlled it, and they've taken care of the zombies. They're outside. There's not a way in. They've kept them out. They're in. Then the biker gang shows up. And they're worse than the damn zombies. Okay, this is human outlaw trash that has waited for society to take a flying fuck, all right, so it can just run rampant, and now they are, and they're running rampant. They're not even afraid of the zombies. They make fun of the zombies. You ever had that moment where you're almost feeling sorry for the zombies because of the way the motorcycle gang is treating them? Yeah. But what you're talking about is just, I think, du rigueur for the majority of most horror sequels, because it's not the situation where most horror films have heavy characters or heavy landscape that deserves a trilogy, not just a part 2 and a part 3. But no, there's much more to be mined here. We can go much further with this. I mean, now Dawn of the Dead is one that does that. It creates a wonderful mythology. And it can go further with it, and the further you go, the more it brings up even more questions, and the more you want to know. Okay, well, what did they do 10 years after that? Well, what happens 10 more years after that? Okay, is there anybody in a safe situation? It's one of the few horror films that offers up that kind of thing. Well, here's the thing: is back in the days before IMDb, actors would routinely lie on their resume. And it was just kind of known, especially before you've done anything. You can't write SAG if you weren't in SAG. But other than that, you had a little bit of latitude to create shit. And so I came up with a couple of B-movie titles that didn't exist. I remember one was Drag Race No Stop. All right. And I played a character named Mag Wheeler. But I knew I had to put 2 known movies, and they couldn't have been SAG movies. So the 2 movies I chose were Dawn of the Dead and Jean-Luc Godard's King Lear. Well, it was like everyone was in it and no one will ever fucking watch it. So the thing is, I put in Dawn of the Dead because back when they made Dawn of the Dead, there's a young guy in the movie. There's one of the motorcycle guys. He's got shaggy hair like I had at the time, and he's got a Tommy gun, and he's in the sidecar of the sidecar and the motorcycle apparatus. And guy doesn't really look like me. He looks more like Don Johnson than he looks like me. But he looks like he could be me. He has the same kind of brown hair. I was wearing leather all the time, and we were more or less the same age. I think he's obviously older, all right, but nevertheless, he had the mop hair that I had. Yeah, and the same kind of brown and everything. And you could imagine me in that role after you've seen this guy. So that's on my resume and whatever. So I start working. at Video Archives, only to find out that these guys are like the biggest George Romero fans in the world. Not only is Roger like a George Romero fan, he bought stock in Laurel Entertainment when he was a boy with his birthday money. Bought $500 worth of Laurel Entertainment stock, and then when they did Tales from the Dark Side, the TV series, it became $1,000. Yeah, and that's just him wanting to support George Romero. Yeah, you know. So I was sort of like, okay, do I tell these guys about me being in Dawn of the Dead? Because I'm not in Dawn of the Dead. All right, but should I tell these? I go, well, they know I'm not in fucking Dawn of the Dead. All right. This was obviously before they knew me, but that's just impossible. And they're going to realize it doesn't look like me that much. All right. It suggests me, but it doesn't look like me. It's just crazy that I would be in their favorite movie. Well, I did it as an acting exercise. If I can sell them, if I can actually have them, I never thought I can get you guys to believe it. But if I got you to entertain the idea so that you couldn't just not believe it, the win is for you to consider it. Yeah. For you to consider it may have been true. And then I go, well, if I do that, then that's just the best acting exercise of all. Because one of these guys knows that these guys know this movie by heart. And obviously that's not fucking me. I mean, let's just get down to it. It's not me. And I got you guys for years, 3 years, for 3 years. It should have been me. It should have been. George Romero wishes it fucking was me. Yes, I'm older in that movie than I'm 5 years later. He's hanging around all these tough guys, so he looks bigger and older. That was the win. My life was fucking boring, all right? So I came up with all kinds of shit. No, I got to tell you, okay, 3 years later, I eventually told Jerry, and Jerry was like, I knew that wasn't you, but I'm kind of bummed now. I mean, I knew it wasn't you, but actually having you say it is like a real fucking bummer. So what happens was, once I did Reservoir Dogs, one of those acting resumes that I thought had long since went away, my manager still had one, and so she sent it out. And so all of a sudden, people thought that I was in Godard's King Lear and Dawn of the Dead. And so in one of the movies on TV editions of Leonard Maltin's Movies on TV, when it does the King Lear thing, and look for a quick cameo by a very young Quentin Tarantino. All right. So again, that's almost like I might as well have been in the fucking movie if Leonard Maltin is crediting it print in Movies on TV. Then George Romero hired me to be one of the radio voices in one of the found footage. I don't remember, Diary of the Dead. So he hired me to be one of the radio voices. So thus, I eventually was a cast member hired by Romero. All right, to do a thing, and so that reality was created.